Scientists from different fields recently headed out and unearthed remains of gigantic skeletons. Now the question is, are the stories of giants a hoax or more? There's still a lot of debate about whether giants ever existed, but some people think there are clues that they might have. Legend has it that Ecuador's got a history of massive beings called the Huaranis, or the Huar. These giants were said to roam the remote corners of the Ecuadorian rainforest, specifically hanging out in the Amazonian region. And we're not talking about your average sized human here. These people were huge. According to the tales passed down through generations, these giants reached mind-blowing heights of 10 to 12 feet. But with proportionate bodies and muscles. These people were said to be crazy strong too. Back in 2013, Ecuador was hit by some heavy storms, and you won't believe what they found. They stumbled across a massive female skull in a Loja province. Talk about a jaw-dropping discovery. Turns out the skull was no ordinary one. It dated back around 600 years. As they dug deeper into the research, they found not just one, but 5 more giant skeletons in the same area. All these skeletons ranged between 7 and 8 feet tall. To make things interesting, these giant skeletons were buried in super fancy graves. We're talking deep and elaborate resting places, fit for giants. Now, the funny thing is, these giants weren't all from the same tribe either. They were discovered at 2 different sites, leading scientists to believe that they belong to 2 separate tribes. The Kentucky Dover Mound, also known as the Dover Burial Mound, is an ancient burial mound located near Dover, Kentucky, in the United States. It is considered one of the significant archaeological sites in the Ohio River Valley region. Back in the day, way before smartphones and fast food, the mound was built by the Adena or Hopewell cultures. These Native American communities were doing their thing from around 800 BC to 500 CE. A bunch of archaeologists went on a dig in the late 1800s and early 1900s and found some seriously cool stuff. They unearthed all sorts of artifacts buried in the mound, like copper bling, stone tools, fancy pottery, and even some ceremonial items. But the real showstopper was a massive stash of shelled beads, made from marine shells that were probably traded over long distances back in the day. Now, here's where things get interesting. Within the Dover Mound, a skeleton of a whopping 7 foot tall Adena man was found. What caught everyone's attention wasn't just his height. The skeleton had something seriously bizarre going on. His head? Freakishly elongated, and his torso is disproportionately huge compared to his legs. Similar remains were found at other Native American burial sites in Ohio too. They were super tall guys with elongated heads and giant torsos. It's like they were playing around with a weird genetic mixing pot or something. At first, people went all out and thought it's gotta be aliens, but science confirmed that these are human remains. No little green men are involved here. Archaeological dig going on at a Native American burial ground found not just a few, but 200 giant skeletons. Some of these measured up to a staggering 9 feet tall. That's like basketball player status, but on a whole new level. But here's where things take a mysterious turn. The experts estimated that these skeletons could have been there for up to 9,000 years. Naturally, when this incredible discovery happened, the media went insane. It was all over the news, people were whispering about ancient giants ruling the land, and the whole world was buzzing with excitement. But wait for it. Today, these remains have disappeared. Gone. Nobody knows where they went or what happened to them. It's like they've vanished into thin air, leaving us with unanswered questions. Alright, let's talk about these crazy giant footprints that people have been yapping about. Some claim to have seen these giant footprints in various spots around the globe. We're talking about places like the US, India, South Africa, Bolivia, you name it. And these footprints are no joke. They're supposedly made into rocks or layers of sediment, and they're massive beyond anything we've ever seen. 100 years ago in Puluzi, South Africa, a hunter stumbles across a giant footprint. The locals were so blown away by it that they nicknamed it the Footprint of God. Can you believe that? Now, here's the thing. This footprint measures 1.2 metres long. Experts estimate that this print could be anywhere from 200 million to 3 billion years old. The believers in giants get all excited about these footprints. They argue that the size and distinct features are just too big to belong to any regular creature. According to them, it's proof that giants once roamed our planet, stomping around like gods among men. The skeptics have their say too. They raise an eyebrow and propose that maybe these footprints aren't so giant after all. They suggest that natural geological processes, like erosion or funky rock formations, might have created these impressions. In their eyes, it's all just a case of Mother Nature playing tricks on us. To settle this debate once and for all, we need some serious scientific investigation. We're talking about rock-solid evidence. Geological analysis and comparing these footprints to those of known species. We're going to have to dig deep and get to the truth. We're heading straight to the heart of Death Valley. This place is not just your ordinary desert. It's packed with epic stories of colossal buildings that once roamed this scorching hot land. Back in 1931, a doctor named F. Bruce Russell stumbled on something in Death Valley. He discovered these caves and tunnels and decided to check them out. So they roped in. What they initially thought would be a small cave system turned out to be huge, stretching across 180 square miles. As they kept going into these massive caves, they found a chamber that looked like some kind of ancient ritual or religious hall. Here's where things take a wild turn. Imagine finding not just any old skeletons, but skeletons of humanoid creatures standing a towering 9 feet tall. And in 1947, a San Diego newspaper officially reported the story. The remains were mummified and were estimated to be 80,000 years old. People think these giants were part of an ancient race long forgotten by history. Some even throw in wild theories about aliens or hidden civilizations, taking this whole giant thing to a whole new level of craziness. So, way back from 2600 BC to the mid-1800s, Lovelock Cave supposedly served as the hangout spot for a rather peculiar group of characters, the red-haired cannibal giants, with fiery red locks who had a taste for human flesh. You can imagine what happened next. It was wartime. The Paiute and the giants clashed in an epic battle that lasted for ages. The giants, forced to retreat time and time again, found refuge in the depths of Lovelock Cave. It became their last stronghold, their haven. Even from the confines of the cave, these giants didn't give up on their carnivorous habits. The Paiute, understandably fed up with this giant-sized menace, hatched a plan. They set up a massive bonfire right at the mouth of the cave. It was a blazing inferno, like a giant barbecue of justice. The fire consumed the cave, taking down all the giants with it. It was an end to the cannibal reign of the red-haired giants. A group of curious explorers decided to check out this cave, and boy, were they in for a surprise. As they ventured deeper into its mysterious depths, they saw something that would challenge everything they thought they knew. What they discovered were giant-sized remains. We're talking about massive skeletons that were reported to be around 7 to 10 feet tall. Now, let's fast forward a bit. In the early 20th century, archaeologists conducted further investigations at Lovelock Cave. And guess what they found? More evidence supporting the existence of these giants. They uncovered giant-sized artifacts like tools, weapons, and even a giant handprint on the cave wall. What do you think about these conspiracies? Let us know your opinion on this in the comments section below. If you enjoyed today's video and found it interesting, then make sure to leave us a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Click on the bell icon to be always updated with the most exciting content as soon as it's uploaded. Thanks for watching. See you again soon in another video.